Alrighty, well, welcome back to Girl, Everything's Fine.
Woo.
We have a very special guest here today, Miss Carmilla. She is as I like to call her, a Chicago fitness icon. Refers to herself as a warrior, princess, queen, a savage, a mom. She does it all. She's everywhere, all over the place.
Yeah. Cat mom also.
Yes.
Oh,
and
yes.
Don't worry. I did copy paste your Instagram bio.
Okay.
Because there's some questions that I was like, let's talk about this. So we'll get there. Don't you worry.
Okay.
But how are we doing today?
I feel great.
Yes. You've had a busy day.
Yes.
Like a full day.
Full day on a Saturday.
Love it.
I know, but savages don't stop.
No.
That's damn right, gal.
Do
Damn
not
right.
stop. Do not stop.
You just got back from big travel, too, recently.
Yeah,
So
I was
you've
in
been
Japan.
very go since you've been back.
Yeah, and I haven't had a day off since I got back.
Oh, my goodness. How do you do that?
So you remind yourself that if you ask for food and people give you food, you don't complain about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you're asking for work, if you're asking to help people to be their strongest self, when those opportunities come up, you don't complain about it.
True.
You do the
Amazing way
work.
to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was in Japan? Just like fun times?
Yeah, just
to
fun
travel?
times, travel, see things.
Nice.
I feel like also getting out of a space where people know you, getting out of your comfort zone. I'm not fluent in Japanese.
Yeah.
Understand a little, speak a little, like that much.
Yeah.
Maybe even less than that much. And being in an environment where it's challenging.
Yeah.
And you have to stay positive in this challenging environment.
Totally.
In order to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Right?
It's high on my list to go to Japan because I feel like it's such a unique culture there.
It is.
And it's like, I just feel like there's so much to see there and experience there, from food, from culture to like, I think of what I see in like online of like that one corner. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like it's like a corner of like, it's probably Tokyo or something.
It's in Tokyo. It's called the Shibuya Scramble. It's I think over 2 million people go through that crossing per day.
Wow.
It's where like the major train lines come together.
Yeah.
So
because that's their big thing. They want you to take their trains for transportation, I heard. Like it's very like their train system is very advanced and like that's how they want you to get around. But I've also heard it's very confusing.
It is. Oh my God. 1000%.
Yeah.
So I'm notoriously late for everything.
You were early.
Yeah, you were like 60 seconds early today.
Well, I almost went back home, and then I was like, if you do that, you're going to definitely be like 15 minutes late. So I was like, just go.
Yeah.
So when I was there in March, like, first of all, the trains run exactly on time.
Which is incredible because
Yeah, that
wherever
doesn't
does
happen.
that
Yeah,
happen?
it says it's going to be
America.
there at 6:49. It is there at like 6:48.30 seconds.
Until,
and you got
We love
30
efficiency.
seconds to get on the train.
Yeah.
And then it's, like a minute to get on. Then it's 6:49. And at 49 and a half, it's pulling off.
Dang. It's
Right.
like, let's go. You got a place to be? I'm going to get you there.
Yeah. Yeah. And so you learn to get places early because the train is confusing.
Yeah.
So if it's like, I'm going to take the 6:45 train. Are you taking the 6:45 train? Like,
taking the
first of all, you got to figure out what platform,
Yeah.
which line you're taking.
Yeah.
You're not taking the 6:45 train. Just know that wherever you're going, you gotta leave a half hour earlier than
To get there, to
wherever
figure it
you're
out.
going. Yeah, and when you get to the train station, wherever you're going, so now you made it.
Yeah.
You made it to the train. You got on the train. Now,
Where do you get off?
where do you get off? That's happened to me.
Yeah.
And then don't refresh your Google Maps while you're on the train. Because there's all these train lines running at the same time.
Yeah.
And now it's going to tell you to get off somewhere else and do a different train. So just don't refresh it. Just like, it's there. Keep it there. And then when you get off, it's like, get off at gate 2, Hachiko, boo, and take the stairs and you're like, oh, dang, here we go.
Oh, my
you're
goodness.
lost all
yeah,
over
no.
again.
No.
Yeah.
I'd be like, Uber? Like, someone take
But
me
it's
somewhere?
not. They I've heard
I
that
know.
they really want you to use their.
I mean, it is experiencing,
their
probably
culture.
also the most
I've
efficient
also
way to get
heard-
around.
This is so randomly off topic, but I've also heard that they don't walk. You can't walk in the streets and eat and have food.
No.
They're very
No.
It's such a strict cultural way that you just have to immediately adapt to when you get there, or else it's
Right. Otherwise, you're going to be videoed and somebody's going to be like, look at that foreigner.
she's trying to eat her ice cream and text and walk across the street.
Yeah. So the reason why they don't like people walking and eating is a few reasons. You might drop food, right?
Yeah, because it's very clean.
It's very clean.
Yeah.
So if you might drop food. Now you have wrappers and litter that you have with you. The other reason is if you're walking and eating and you bump into someone, now you've gotten food on them.
I mean,
And because it's so
Respect.
crowded.
but it should be, right? We should all we get so caught up in
we should pay more attention.
do everything on the go,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
honestly, I admire that.
Agreed.
To just
Agreed.
walk and get to where you're going, separate your activities, don't try to be eating, talking, moving, but that's just we're all living at this speed up here,
Yeah. And eating on the trains, the reason why it's not happening, they don't want you to do that is garbage, right? Messy food on the train, spilling things, but also the different smells of the different food. And now you got all these different smells going on the train because somebody's,
Honestly,
eating
I like
a big
this.
old garlic, pie.
Yeah. Yeah. You're like, oh my God, that smells. Or even the best smells,
Yeah.
you're like, ugh, I don't want this anymore.
Not in the train. Yeah.
So while you're on vacation or traveling, are you someone who schedules workouts, goes and tries new studios?
So usually I do. This time, I didn't. I was going to go to a CrossFit studio and I was going to do some samurai a sword class.
Ooh.
I didn't get to do it because my tours I ended up doing were really long. So they were 5 to 8 hours.
Yeah.
And so the scheduling, that was the other thing about Japan. A lot of places don't open early.
Yes, right? They open, you can't get a coffee before 10 a.m.
How do you
Well,
know?
now they're, okay.
I have two friends that recently have gone.
Yes, yes.
I'm fluent.
Yes.
Fluent in Japan. No.
Did you just go too? Did you do research? Before?
No, I have two of my very good friends have just gone and
we did research, but not that bad.
Right, how do you know all this? She was there. She didn't tell you. She didn't tell you.
No. I've had two friends that have gone, but I find it fascinating. So people talk about it, and I'm like, wait, tell me more, because I want to know. But let's.
Well, okay, so there are places now that open at 7.
Okay.
It's the earliest because they realize, foreigners, we
Like a coffee.
right. We
We
wake up and we're
at 6 a.m.
right.
We want our workout at 6:30.
And they do drink coffee early, but the people that have to go into the office and get there at 6, they have coffee stations in all these corporations.
Sure.
So the reason why, so I had to Google this because I was like, okay,
what's going on here?
I love coffee.
Yeah.
I even did
Same.
coffee omakase while I was in Tokyo.
Wow.
So I'm I wake up and I'm this is how I set up my day to be beautiful.
Yeah.
Which
Yes.
was beautiful coffee.
Agreed.
Not nasty, beautiful
No.
coffee.
Yeah.
And so I Googled it, and the reason why is because the first train doesn't start till 5 a.m. So if a worker lives an hour away, now they won't get there till 6. And then it may take an hour
To
for
get
them
everything
to
started.
set up
Right.
the store. So, you could open at 7, but usually the earliest was that I had found before COVID, because I brought in 2020 there,
Mm-hmm.
was 8 a.m.
Whew.
Right? And that's... And
We're like, can a coffee shop open at 4:30 in the morning?
Yeah.
like-
Yeah, well, our Starbucks open at... We have Starbucks here that open at 4:30.
4:30. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
just gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
I was making a joke, didn't think that was a thing. I'm not up at 4:30.
Yeah, the one
I'm like
on Kingsbury in Chicago opens at 4:30. I know all the Starbucks and what time.
She's an ambassador now.
Yeah. No,
Are they still canceled?
I don't know. I like Starbucks.
You should know. They were canceled
They were canceled.
because
No, I know.
Okay.
I
I
meant
was
though.
like,
I
you're
still,
Jewish.
I still like Starbucks though.
Oh no, I know.
Oh, no, it
But that
tastes
was
good.
why they were
but
canceled.
they were canceled.
They were canceled.
You know what though? Everybody's canceled for
Everyone's
everything.
canceled.
Everybody's canceled.
You
JC's
can't-
canceled.
everything.
Everybody is canceled. You do one thing and they're like, we hate you.
Yeah.
You're done.
Yeah.
I know. It's so hard.
And then you have
We
to
need
come out with like a
stop.
public apology, but then you don't apologize the right way, so then you're still canceled.
Well, I feel like sometimes, this is my theory,
Okay.
that people know me because I am always canceled.
You think so?
No way. You just want to
Never
be
in
canceled.
my life.
Yeah, I'm always on someone's canceled list.
I've
So,
never
like, if
heard
you're-
a human being. Okay, great. I act like I've
Yeah.
lived here for 40
Like,
years.
if you're...
But I've never heard anybody say one.
So if
negative
you're
thing about
always on people's like cancel list, like
You're
you
doing
have
it right.
people who already canceled you and people who like you. So now you're on two lists.
Perfect.
Do I need to get
Yeah.
canceled?
So like
I think we need to get
yeah.
we
So
gotta start getting
if
canceled.
you're never on a canceled list and you're always on the great list, the moment you do something whack, they're like, oh, that was out of character.
Yeah.
They're canceled. But I'm always kind of on the the writing
savagery.
the line.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm on the
Yeah.
savage list, right? So it's like maybe you like me, maybe you don't, and that's okay.
While we're on
Dang.
this topic, I know we have I'm going to jump ahead here for a
Yeah.
second. Have you seen? So for anybody watching who doesn't know, you instruct at Core Power on top of a bunch of
Oh,
places.
yeah.
Oh yeah, let's
Have
go.
you seen? Do you know what I'm about to say? Have you seen
Yes.
this? Okay, so on TikTok, there was some girl that was like rating studios and then ranking Core
Instructors.
Power
Instructors.
instructors.
Right. So I didn't. So I have a TikTok. I'm not on TikTok.
Okay.
So people kept adding me and I would get like notifications, but people do that on a lot of stuff in general and I never look at it.
Yeah, sure.
Everyone, when you put at Carmilla K on TikTok, I don't look at it. So
She's just so you know. No disclaimer, she's not looking at it.
no, I'm not. I have it so I can look at stuff friends send me. Like, look at this. It's funny.
Yeah,
whatever.
You're there
And
for
I love
comic
to
relief.
support.
You're not there for the
Yeah.
serious.
And I love supporting my friends who want to send me stuff.
Yeah.
No, I don't even scroll on it. You have to literally send it to me for me
Right,
to like
because if
look.
like my boyfriend or my fiance doesn't have it, and so I know
Newly a fiance.
Newly.
I know.
Wednesday.
We didn't do how are you doing?
Congrats.
But let's give
We'll
you
do it later.
We'll give you your
Congrats.
rose later.
Congrats. Okay, congrats.
But he doesn't have a TikTok, and when I send him stuff, he can't get on it.
No, he's upset. So I was like, ugh. So my friends would send me stuff and I would be like, I want to support them and laugh at whatever they're sending me. So I had to download TikTok so I can do this.
So you
right?
saw this.
So I saw it only because like 10 people sent this to me.
Yeah.
So everybody started sending it to me and I was like, okay, I'm going to go look. So then I saw it and I'm very grateful. I want to say that to everyone for saying like, you haven't taken Carmilla. So everybody kept putting my name and saying like, she's the greatest, she's the hardest. And
Well, she
thank you
is.
for that. And I appreciated that. But I still didn't like where the whole thing was going.
Agree.
And I didn't want to be like part of like some like ranking system, especially when our classes are based off of us being authentically us.
Yes.
And also like everybody likes different music. Like I saw one of the comments on there was like, I hate her class. I don't like her music. That's not sculpt. It's like working out in the military. Like I saw some of those comments too, right? So there are people who literally hate my class and they hate it for how hard it is.
Sure.
Or it's not even that hard, but just for what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there are people who love it for what it is. And so making this Can we swear?
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely, you can.
Thank you. Because I'm always trying to edit.
No.
Girl, Everything's Fine has an E next to it on Spotify. We are explicit.
Yeah.
Okay,
We are
good.
unedited.
All right,
Unfiltered.
thank you.
We want you to say it all.
Okay, thank you, because you know I swear all the time.
Yeah, so do I. Like a sailor.
I think that like making this like bullshit,
Yes.
ranking when like I'll be honest, I'm sorry, Taylor Swift people, but like
Oh, girl, I'm with you.
I can't work out to Taylor Swift. Like, she's inspiring, she's great, but like working out to that, I
can't
like,
either.
go crazy.
Yeah, nope.
And so, but some people love it.
Yeah.
The Taylor Swiftie classes, the spin classes, the like workout classes.
Yep.
And some people love it.
Love it. I know.
And so how are we ranking these classes?
I don't even think to me it was like you're not even ranking like this class. You're literally saying I like this person, I don't like this person.
Yeah.
And you have a totally like I'm not a big cycle person.
Yeah.
Do I go to cycling? Yeah, it's challenging. It's challenging my body. It's challenging my mind. Like, but would I be like, that's my favorite class? No. But that doesn't mean that cycling sucks.
No.
That just means like that's not my I just the whole thing
It wasn't
to me
your cup of tea.
was like this feels like a personal attack on every single person. Like
yeah.
Like I was looking at it and I was like, this one got this much part of the pie and that part of the pie.
Including
And
the
then these
pie
other
chart was
people.
Oh, then the pie chart. So what happened was I
my
said, you keep my name off that fucking voting list.
Yeah.
So that was in the comments. I was like, you don't put my name. Nobody. And then I said, if anybody, I said, I love all of you. But if you vote on this, don't come to my fucking class.
Yeah. No. Amen.
It was that to
Because
me
I didn't want it to be, it seemed very mean girl.
It's very mean girl.
Yeah.
We don't have, and I say this all the time and time again, as women who already have it fucking hard enough.
Yeah, and I
we
said that.
don't need to be
Yes.
competing against
I said that
other
in the
women
comments.
over
Yes.
dumb
You're
bullshit.
putting women against women, and I thought that was crazy. So I'm not the one who said anything to corporate because I was like, I will take care of my own bullshit. I don't need to call Core Power to be like, hello, this lady. But other instructors
good for them.
actually felt bad, right?
Yeah.
How could
Because
you not?
people felt like somebody commented, one of the instructors said, oh, I'm scared to see how people voted. Right, so
And imagine you're a new instructor, right? And you show up on
That's
this
what I
list,
was
your
thinking,
confidence,
too.
right?
Yeah.
then.
Power really is a really great space for someone who's just
for community.
learning
Yes.
to get that feedback, to grow, to build their skills, whatever it is. And I'm like, you don't know if that man, woman, whoever just got their certification or just starting to teach, you've now just shot their confidence.
Yeah.
Because you
compare them.
whatever. Yeah.
And you're comparing them to instructors that, like, I've been teaching at Core Power for 10 years. And you're comparing someone new to someone who's been teaching for a really long time.
It's also like you've built your voice. You've evolved over time.
Yeah, I've evolved
too.
because if people would have saw me when I first started teaching, girl, I almost fainted my first class. I was like, everybody stood up to Tadasana and my eyesight went. And I was like, I'm gonna faint.
Yeah.
Just give me a second.
Yeah, I didn't faint. I just stared. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, so I thought that was terrible. And then, so a bunch of other instructors called Core Power and complained. And that's why they called her. It had nothing to do with me. And then she made another TikTok.
Yes, we saw it. And she was like, I didn't mean to, like, this wasn't my intention.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like,
it was.
yes, it was.
Yeah. And then somebody said that she made another one that was like trash talking, I guess, me. I haven't seen it, but I keep getting these TikTok notifications of being added like daily.
Yes.
And so I didn't see the last one. I don't want to see it because I literally don't give a fuck.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
You more worried about me than I am worried about you.
Yes. Yes.
And my father always said, be famous or infamous, but don't let people forget you.
Heck yeah.
I'm living in her mind rent free.
So
and that's fine.
That's true.
Yeah.
So with that, you've got like a badass community that are like ride or die.
Well, you know what? This is the thing about my classes. I don't choose the weights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
So I they're savages.
Yeah.
Right.
And I always say this, I'm just the voice they had when they first walked into the room. When they first walked into the room, they were like, I got this. And throughout class, I'm reminding them of their first voice. Because as it starts to get hard, the mind chatter, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I can't do this. It's whack. It's hot. I gotta go do my laundry, my cat.
Yeah.
And I just remind them that, like, you came here because your first thought was, I want to get fit. I want to get healthy. I want to be strong. I can do it.
Yeah.
So I don't think my classes has anything to do with me. It has everything to do with them. They're choosing the weights. They're choosing the time. They're choosing every opportunity in that room. That's it.
But how do you instill community? Because you've really built like a really great, I feel like people are like not more than just like the time. They're like coming to your class, whether it's like you're kicking their ass, you're building that relationship, whatever it is. But I do feel like you've really, wherever you're teaching, people come to be with you.
I think because I encourage people to talk to each other in the beginning of class. I encourage people to talk to each other after class. So they build relationships with the friends in class. And then, you guys know how this is. Your friend texts you and be like, we're going to go to Train Moment and I'm going at 5:45. What are you doing tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they ask you, what are you doing tomorrow at 5:45?
Yeah.
No, that's how it usually
And then
works.
you're like, I don't know yet. And then
Right.
they're like,
And then
okay.
or you're like, oh, nothing. Like, and then they're like, okay, great. We're going to go to this. And now,
you're like,
now you've roped in.
ooh,
Now you're
maybe I
stuck.
have to do something else.
now you're stuck. Yeah. So it's like that. Like they create their own pockets of groups within the class and they always set up next to each other. So I think it's more that they have their community and, I'm just in this room that happens to vibe with the same kind of music, the same kind of, mindfulness or thought processes. So it just happens we all align with that same kind of thinking. So I think it's just that, like, it's more that who you vibe with.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I think it's a big energy thing a lot of times too. Like, I think people more than they realize can pick up on other people's energy. And like, you can read before someone opens their mouth to instruct or do anything, like if their vibe is your vibe. And like, if you give off like a great energy and it's supportive and it's like hype girl and it's all these things, like people are drawn to want to do that.
Yeah.
So I think it's like a big energy component too.
Yeah. And I think too that like, it's also what philosophy do you vibe with?
Yes.
Right.
100%.
So my philosophy is you are paying for a membership and you walked into this class to work out.
Yeah. I'm going to give you a good ass workout.
You better work the fuck out.
Oh, yeah. Especially like these fucking gym memberships ain't cheap.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
They ain't cheap.
Yeah.
So like you came here, get to it.
Yeah.
That is like my total mindset as well.
Yeah. Like you're paying for this health and this growth.
Yeah.
Do that shit.
Yeah.
Right. And the people who don't, I mean, I hope none of my uppers listen to this. But the people who don't get in my classes, you get weeded out. You get no pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Because each instructor is different. Go to a different instructor if you don't like my class.
100%.
Yeah.
We have over 300 sculpt instructors in the city. You got 300 people to choose from, right? Like, go take their class. But mine is that we came here to focus and lock in.
Yep.
And a lot of people in my class are a little bit tired of doing the extra work for other people at work, right?
100%. Yeah.
Because they,
We know that.
yeah, because they can't lock in
Yeah.
and do their own work. And so they appreciate that in my class that I'm driving that you're here, lock in and do the work, and the people who aren't locking in and doing the work,
They fall off.
I'm going to probably say something.
Yeah.
I'll just say that.
Yeah.
I will
No,
say
I love
something to you. So so I think it's more that. And I always say savages find savages.
Truth. You find your community.
Yeah, you find your people.
You teach at multiple locations.
Yeah, where are you?
I do. So I teach at Core Power.
Yep.
I teach at Midtown Athletic Club. I teach at Body High Fitness in Wicker Park.
That kicked my ass.
The circuit training.
I did a class there, and I was like, I'm humbled. That kicked my
assault
ass.
bike, that Echo bike, because it's different than a regular assault bike.
Yeah, I was like,
The bike is wet.
I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
But it was
So,
great.
I mean, I've never done Body High, but the assault bike is whack, period.
Yeah, but the
And I
Echo bike is
cycle.
worse.
Oh,
Is
it
it?
was.
Okay.
The
I was
Echo
like,
bike is worse.
I
It's
think I'm in
worse.
shape, and then I went there, and I was like,
I hate those bikes. I'm like,
yeah, it's horrible.
oh my God.
I had a guy next to me who like just tried this out on ClassPass, and I was like, ooh, man, I'm right there with you though.
Like, we dying.
Yeah.
I work there too, and I love it. It's woman owned.
Yeah.
She's pregnant with her third in a
Aw.
row. In a row.
wow.
But I love her. Her name is Gail. Her husband's great too, Colin. And then I work at ENA in River North. And then I sub at Base Camp.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I still sub there. And then I have private clients too.
So how do you find the time for you? Like for your own workouts, for you to do
Wait, also,
things?
I want to, while you're talking about that,
Yes.
I just recently saw, so for anybody who didn't see, but you did this little like spiel on Instagram recently that was like, I find it very hard to be motivated and to like kick my ass in the gym when things are going really well.
Yeah.
So like while you're answering that question, dive into that piece.
Okay, yeah, that was.
So how do you
that
find
was
the time?
newer.
we literally
how do
scrolled through your stories and we're
totally
like,
okay.
all right,
And we were like,
gotta-
this
was
is
newer.
incredible.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's elaborate on that.
Well, I find time for me by bring us to my favorite topic,
Yeah.
my cats.
Your cats.
I love
You have
that.
3 cats?
Have 4.
4 cats.
Yes.
Okay.
all rescues you found, like you.
Yeah,
breed?
rescues like Humane Society through PetSmart. You know, you go in and you're like looking and you're like, anti-cruelty, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So 4 cats, all
Love.
4 from anti-cruelty through PetSmart. They bring me so much joy and happiness. Pets have such a way to they don't expect anything from you.
I know.
Except maybe food and treats, lots of treats.
Yeah.
But they just love you.
Yeah.
Like they
it's
literally
great.
just
Unconditionally.
They
It's
just
the
love
best.
you.
Yeah.
So my cats, I also watch anime, which is the other
That's
thing.
like that's literally. I was like, we need to talk about that.
So I also watch anime. I watch K-dramas too.
Love.
I love reading
Okay.
random knowledge. So I have a philosophy that you should learn one thing new every day. So I'll read random philosophy, random history, random facts. So I do that too every day. And it brings my mindset from the present into gaining some knowledge about the past. The one I read yesterday was how did Romans rectify the atrocities that they were doing as they were conquering other places? And the answer by a professor was that they didn't, because the idea of these atrocities didn't really come in until Christianity. That, they were a pagan / multi-god religion. I mean, society where you had a god of war.
Yeah.
You had a god over, that made sure your slaves were fine. The idea of those things being an atrocity did not cross their minds, because in their minds they were doing what they were destined to do.
Yeah.
That the gods put onto their path. So I was like, oh, that's so fascinating. Right?
Yeah.
To put it in that perspective. So I read something new every day. And then, and as far as my own workouts, I do, don't show up. Don't do that. Don't bother me. Don't bother me. Right? The Creole just came out. Don't bother me. I work out at West Loop Athletic Club.
Like, do not show up
do
at my
not-
It's like a
time.
celebrity.
don't
Like,
do
don't
that.
come up to me.
No.
Like, don't come up to me.
Because I'm not like a nice celebrity. Like,
Yeah.
I might throw weights at you. Like, don't do that. I work out at West Loop Athletic Club, and then I do take classes. I love Anthony at Soul Cycle. You know,
kicks ass.
he's and also I love me and him have a similar mindset. Why did you show up? Why don't you show up and actually show up?
Yeah.
Right? So I love his class. I love Frank. He teaches boxing over at West Loop Athletic Club. I do take classes at Midtown. I'll take yoga. We have Apex there, which is kind of like Barry's.
Yeah.
So I do work out in classes too. And I work out on my own.
Nice.
So that's how I like decompress.
Yeah.
And then I have a lot of plants. And I take care of my plant babies too. Because I'm a nurturer. So I love taking care of people, plants, my cats, my kids.
And that helps you take care of you.
Yeah, because I feel like I'm doing something that I love and that I really want to do.
Yeah.
And yeah, that makes me happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So yes, this philosophy that you had recently of like when things are going really well, it's hard for me to stay motivated. What brought that on? Like how did you tap
I was
into
in
that?
a really long marriage and I left in 2023. So coming up on 2 years. And I had a lot of rage.
Yeah.
Even while I was in a marriage, right? Like not happy. Just, you're working through and depressed.
Yeah.
Not feeling good about yourself and not feeling good that you are accomplishing. And not feeling good about yourself isn't always just about like just feeling icky.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you just feel like you're not accomplishing the things that maybe you felt like you wanted to do or that was your path.
Yep.
Yeah.
And sometimes explaining that, like, your path, do you even know what that was? And, like, maybe you don't know what it is, but you do know when you're not on that path.
Sure.
You feel it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you think your path is supposed to go like this, and right now it's like turning right, and you're like, wait, I want to get back there, but it's like, no, it's turning
going
right
that
now.
way. Yeah. And so a lot of rage, a lot of like just, unhappiness. And so a lot of times that would fuel my workout. Right?
Yeah.
And then after I moved out, you still have that rage of like, I didn't want my life to turn out like this.
Yep.
That's not something I ever wanted, right? When you get married, you're like, I'm in love. Like, everything is, I'm a Pisces.
We love a Pisces.
Yeah, and we love love, right? Like we give. And the other thing is I'm a nurturer, so I want to give like all of me. But the thing is like we also want a lot of love too, right? So the love we give is the love we want to get. Yeah. And so as a Pisces, we just think everybody loves the way we do.
Yeah.
Right? We just love, like, I just love you.
Yeah.
And so, and that we think that love will come to us the same way. So I'm not saying that he was a bad guy. Because he wasn't. I don't think anybody is intentionally bad. That we all love differently.
100%. Yeah.
And then the longer you're married, the more you start to realize those things. But now you're like, I'm going to try to make this work.
Yep.
Right.
Like I have a kid. Like we have to like, we can get back to that like beginning phase of, the courtship process and the beginning thing. And as you try to like push those things just seem to get worse. Yeah. Right. Because you're like, it's not getting better. We're not, or you're just not moving forward. It might not be getting worse, but you're just not moving forward and it feels frustrating.
Yeah.
So now, because that was a long ramble, but now, being almost 2 years out, I'm finding healing.
Yeah.
And I did have a point where I felt like I was like mentally going through a breakdown. Like I would be in my classes like yelling at people, being like, you suck. And it was more that I was just so angry.
Yeah.
I was really angry. And, you know, I couldn't see it. And it took my manager, Nicoletta, at West Loop to be like, girl, you're like really upset. Right. And how do we think about it, you know? And so I went to Japan. That was last year, not this year.
Yeah.
And, you know, really, and even there, I didn't have like the best time because I was just such in a headspace. And when I came back and sat with it, I realized like I was in such a headspace I couldn't even enjoy a vacation.
Yeah.
Right. And that's where all the healing really started to kick in, like for real.
Yeah.
They're like, you have to be able to let go of this anger. And then the more you let go of the anger, the more healed you get. And you have all the things. And I'm not a millionaire. I'm super poor. I'm poor as hell. But money...
Aren't we all?
Yes.
Aren't we
Yes.
Yep.
But money isn't my motivator. And I think that is one of the things my students respect about me, that I don't do it for the money. I do it because I want people to be better. Because people are better. It makes the world better for my kids. It makes the world better for everyone.
Yeah.
That's my motivator. The better people are, the better the world will be, the better humanity can be. And so I'm feeling healed, even though I'm poor. We're all poor. But
We're mentally well on our journey, but we're all broke as fuck.
yes.
I mean, true.
Bad.
True.
Bad. That part. Yeah. And so, you know, not feeling that rage inside or the depression or any of that. Like you wake up and you're like,
Yeah.
my house smells good.
My cat's
My sheets
here.
are like clean and white and my cats are purring next to me.
Yeah.
Do I really gotta go work out? And then I had an epiphany that when people are like really in these happy like relationships and they're just dating and they're eating all the food and they're hanging out.
Yeah.
This is what they feel like when they drag themselves to my class anyway.
Yeah.
Like they're like, oh, I guess I'll go to this class. And they're happy and they don't want to, you know, do all the push-ups. They're like drinking water, doing bullshit stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And so I came to this moment of like, all right, I understand they feel that way, but how do you push yourself regardless of the fact that you feel that way?
Yep.
Right?
Yes.
And it's consistency and it's discipline.
Yeah.
Right? Like, yeah, you feel good now, but the work that you put in to get you to this feeling good point, it's the work you still got to do.
You gotta continue it. Yeah.
I always feel like that consistency too is like when you get up and then you like come out of a class, you feel even better.
Yeah.
Like after the class, unless you're sick, I saw your TikTok, but like you come come out of the class and you're like, I feel even better, and then you remember that feeling, and then the next day you're like, okay, I want that feeling again.
Yeah,
because it does. Like in the morning, whenever you work out, like you get that feeling after of just like I feel really good about myself right now. Yeah,
but I'm really lucky that I'm lucky, and this is different for my students, right? That I have people I have to show up for. So they're my motivators. My students are my motivators.
Yeah.
I know that I need to show up as my best self so they can give their best self.
Agreed.
Isn't it crazy that like you easily show up for other people, or you're like, there's people counting on me, I have to do it. But when it's like just you having to show up for yourself, you're like,
like I was saying, that's so good. So I was like,
I could not.
Bro, I feels like so great that like, you know, I don't feel angry anymore. I don't feel confusion or like wondering why these things happen. When you heal, you see the reasons why. You see like the path. You see all of where it got, where where it led to.
Yeah.
And not feel mad about it, right?
Yeah.
And then now you're like working out and you're not thinking about those things, right? You're thinking about maybe like, that great piece of sushi you ate.
You're like, I got nothing to whoop my ass right now.
How am I motivating myself right now?
Right.
Yeah.
And so, it becomes hard. And so that fuel is discipline when I have to do it on my own.
Yeah.
Or showing up for my students and with my students. I don't even like saying showing up for my students. I'm actually showing up with them because we all die together. Yeah. At some point, we're all dying.
Yeah. So what did you start teaching when you started fitness? Was it sculpt?
Yeah.
But now I feel like you infuse a lot of HIIT into your workouts.
I do. To me, functional fitness is more effective. It's things you would actually do if you were in the jungle.
Okay.
Wow.
Jungle. So like a pull-up, right?
Yeah.
Like if you were running through a forest and a lion was chasing your ass, like it's coming. You need to be able to run, hop up, pull yourself up.
Yes.
Right. Or if you got to jump over a fence. Because you're like,
you're running away from
a kidnapper or something.
Yeah, a kidnapper.
I was going to say like
that
a
was
zebra.
good. Yeah, that was good. That was good.
I'm always thinking over here.
I'm always thinking.
And you got to jump over a fence or a dog. Right? It's chasing, barking you. And you got to run and jump over. Like, you got to be able to, like, get yourself up and over that thing, right?
Yeah.
If you were in a fight.
Yeah.
Or I just taught a class and I saw, learn something new every day. I saw in Sweden, they teach classes for people 50 and over how to fall down and get back up.
Wow, they should do a lot more of that.
For
That's
older people.
so smart.
Yeah,
That's
for older people.
Smart.
So when I was teaching reverse burpees. And I was like, basically, you're falling back. Like rock and roll and length of your mat yogis come up to standing, right?
Yeah.
But it was rock and roll, come up, do a jump squat at the top. But you're falling down into your back. You're rolling yourself up without using your hands.
Yeah.
Right? And it's learning how to fall down. And also, like, what if you can't use your hands to get back up? Right?
Yeah.
Same thing with a burpee. If you fall down, how do you get up very fast?
Yeah.
So a lot of people who do take my class, I have some people who do MMA, stuff like that. They love it because they're like in fighting techniques, getting up fast.
Yeah.
It's the most important thing. Right. Getting up and not staying down.
Yeah.
So I love functional fitness types movements. Same thing with like a snatch, right? You're pulling it up, throwing it away from your body. I think all of those are really functional. Whereas in real life, you never will be like, I'm just going to statically.
Yeah.
Bro, right? Like, what? Like, when are you doing that? Like,
no, literally never. I mean, it's an excellent point. I don't think I've ever thought of it that way.
I'm like, now in my head, I'm like, reverse burpees, let's go.
Let's go. You're teaching that. Yeah, you got to.
Yeah.
Just think of it this way. When you teach it, be like, rock and roll the length of your mat, yogis, come up to stand.
When you said it, I was like, I know exactly.
We say it all the time.
Yeah.
We say it all the time in C2.
Yep.
Rock and roll from a boat pose.
100%.
Rock and roll the length of your mat, come up to stand.
100%.
Yeah, so I think that like functional fitness, how we actually move in real life, is really important. And so I add a lot of those elements. We don't move in single planes. Like when you walk, it's not just your legs. Your legs and your arms are moving simultaneously.
Yeah.
And so teaching just really static movements doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
You move multiple body parts at once.
Oh, yeah.
So complex compound movements are functional fitness movements, and we do it in yoga.
Yeah.
Why aren't we doing that with weights?
No, I agree.
Brilliant concept.
Yeah.
Brilliant concept.
I think CrossFit had a really good concept, right? That it was their concept, complex compound movements, moving all four joints at once. It's just that it got so big and they were certifying so many people that didn't really know anatomy or know that not just anatomy, but that everyone's anatomy is different. You got hypermobile people. You got people that are valgus, internal rotation or have lordosis, they pelvic tilt. Like you need people who know multiple anatomy, placements of how people's joints fit in their body and be able to teach towards that.
I think that stems too with I think it's a lot of times in sculpt too. I think people just think, how can I make this as hard as possible versus how can I program really smartly?
Yeah.
Like how can I program a class that makes sense? It is difficult. I'm using dynamic movement, compound movements. But instead, they're like, I'm just going to throw in a million mountain climbers every time versus a chaturanga, and that's going to be like the hardest thing ever. And I'm like,
you're right.
It's not thinking about the movements in the right way. It's like
you just want people to say the class is hard.
It's hard.
Yeah. And I think that's the other level of respect. And I spoke to this Friday at INA because somebody asked me, like, why do so many people come to your class? And I said, if you notice, I'm doing most of the workout with you.
Yeah.
And I won't teach something that I cannot do myself.
100%.
So if I can't do a specific move, I won't teach it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I myself can't do it. Like there are some moves, like yesterday I taught a lunge, back row. Anyway, you came up to a single leg balancing with a press up. I had to go slower than the rest of the class because I taught for 14 hours on Thursday.
A bitch is fucking tired.
Yeah, I taught for 14 hours, and then I only slept for 4 because my cats be like,
up and at 'em,
I need you. You were gone. You came home. You fed us. You left. You came home. You fed us. You let us out on the little porch for like 5 minutes. You rubbed us, kissed us, and you left. Then you came back home.
They're like,
and now,
hello.
you gotta.
You think this
They're
is
like, this lady's back. It's that turn.
Yeah. So I had to spend time. So I only slept 4 hours, and then I woke up 5:30 on Friday because luckily I don't have to be at work till 6:30 on Friday a.m. And then I started teaching and did it all over again.
Yeah.
And by that 4:45 class, I was like, bro, like I can't even see straight.
Yeah.
So trying to balance on a single leg, pressing a weight up. I did it, but I went slower.
Yeah.
And so, but just to say all that is that I may struggle with some things, maybe because I'm tired or I'm on my 5th class of the day.
Yeah.
And this is my 5th hour of doing lunges.
Yeah.
5 hours of lunges straight.
Yeah.
That
it's no joke.
Yeah, I might go slower, but I'm never going to teach something I can't do.
Yeah.
100%.
I agree.
Even when I'm injured. Actually, if I'm injured and I can't do something, we're not going to do that.
And I think everything should also, I see this all the time in the cycle world. We're very quick to do all the dancey things.
Yeah.
But my philosophy is everything should have a purpose on that bike.
Yeah.
Everything that you're teaching, it shouldn't be how do I make people talk about this being the hardest thing they ever did? And it should be more about how do I give someone the most functional, all around best workout they can get from coming to the class. Just to do things.
Even sometimes the most basic of workouts, I'll be like, wow, I'm really sore.
Yeah.
I like position 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm hamstring dominant.
Uh-huh.
And I have really good, it looks like really developed quads, but position 2, my quads just start it lights up so bad, and you don't even have to add anything else.
Sure,
you can literally just be in position 2 for a minute, and I'm breaking down, everything's breaking down.
Yeah. It doesn't need to be like this. I think that is a misconception. The more parts you add to a movement, the harder it is, and that's not always necessarily the best.
And if you notice, that's why Anthony is such a great teacher. Yeah, he adds some dance moves, but they're very simple, side to side, obliques, push-ups. But he's not doing a whole bunch of
it's got a purpose of.
Have you ever seen these things, the X and I'm just what are we doing?
Why are we doing this? Yeah, his classes are so good because they're so intentional.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think that's where the instructors really flourish is if they're I was just telling someone this because they came up to me after class and said they were trying to talk about another instructor, and I was like, let's not go there. Nope. I was like, thank you for coming to my class. Love it. Whatever. But it was her point was it doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. And I was like, I think we're getting so far away from the basics of what it started as. all classes. Like I teach a bar class and I'm like, we're getting so far away from what bar was because we want to be the most unique instructor.
Yeah.
And like use all of the props and do all of the things. And I'm like, body weight, I swear I can still kick your ass.
Yeah.
Like I swear it'll be super
even harder.
sore. Yeah. Like, trust me. Like, do it. I'll make sure you're in the right position. I'll make sure your body's aligned and you will be shaking and then you'll think of me tomorrow.
I think it's because if an instructor doesn't work out themselves and work out on their own, you could take classes and just be like, I'm going to steal that move.
Yeah.
And not understand the mechanics of it.
Yep.
So usually if we're doing something that's newer, I will explain to them why we're doing it, right? Like I was becoming a stickler on like side clamps, but I didn't want clamps, right? I didn't want you to keep your feet together. I wanted you to abduct your legs.
Yeah.
Because I wanted you to work also your inner thigh. So I wanted you to actually pull your whole leg up and foot up and flex your toe, right? So you're getting adduction and abduction both and lifting your hip off, right? So you're in your forearm, you're coming up and down.
Yeah.
Hip is coming off so you get your bottom oblique, you're getting your bottom glute, and then you're getting your abduction here and adding it and everything coming back down. And I had people always doing clamps and I was like, stopped the class and was like, no.
Yeah.
I put this in here for a purpose.
Intentionally.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is the purpose. Half of you will be going to PT, physical therapy, because you don't want to work your glute knee, your glute med. You don't want to work your side body. You know, you just want to lay down and do this thing. So now we're getting the full, and this is mobility because you're lifting and opening the entire leg. Because when do you ever do that? You know, people are sitting all day.
Yeah.
They're not getting that opening, you know, through their inner thighs into their groin. So let's add all of that, right? And I was a really stickler. I stopped class and was like, we got to talk about this because I'm not just teaching a class just to teach the class. I'm teaching a class because I want you to be better and stronger. You don't need to be in a hospital because you were slipping on some ice.
I'm like, everybody sit down. We're going to talk through a chaturanga right now. Because I'm like, I feel like people are so, they like don't want to drop down to their knees.
No.
Or hold a plank. And I'm like.
So then now all of this is like.
I'm like, let's take a seat. Let's talk about this for a moment. And then we'll all try it together. But I'm like, it's not bad to go on your knees. It's not bad to hold your plank.
Skip them.
Yeah, like
I just go down dog. I'd be like, bye.
Yeah, same. I'm like, let's not.
Today.
Yeah,
not today. No, and sometimes it just is not today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's just not today.
Yeah.
And people need to get a little more comfortable. Especially, I think I was going to ask, like, if you had, just because you're so well versed in the fitness world, like if someone was a new, I love to ask people this question, like if they were a new into the fitness world, right? So they don't know where to start, don't know where to begin. What's like one piece of advice you would give for someone who's like intimidated to step into a class or like wants to maybe lift on their own but doesn't know where to begin? Like what's like one grounding piece of advice you would give to somebody?
Make sure you go to a class with a friend. You're going to feel really supported. That's the first thing. And tell the teacher you're new.
Yeah.
Why are you afraid to do that?
People are. Sometimes I'll have, like, it'll come up on our, like, Walla, like, who's new to the studio. And I'm like, where are my new people? And everyone's like,
nobody will raise their hand.
Yeah, and I'm like, I just want to make sure you're on the
halfway through class, when you're coming over and you're like, yo, like, what's happening?
So
and then they're like, well, I'm new. And you're like, bro, you should have told me that a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't do anything now. Like, I got to get back on this mic.
Yeah. So I think identifying yourself as a new student, if you're going to group class, if you're going to the gym, definitely go with a friend.
Someone who's well versed.
Because, and not even one for, both of you could be like not.
Yeah.
But if you go into the gym by yourself, like you're going to be like, feel intimidated.
Yeah, it is.
You
Yeah.
know,
I know.
Like I said, I work out at Westwood Athletic Club, and there are girls that work out downstairs on the floor, but not a whole lot, right?
Yeah.
Because they're intimidated and they don't want to feel weird about using like 10s or 15-pound
Yeah.
weights
Yeah.
and they're, taking up a bench. But if it's you and your other girlfriend, y'all gonna be like, we taking this bench.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
only gonna use 5s.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think if you're new, just go with someone else
Yeah.
or identify yourself as a new student. I think that's very grounding. And if the teacher is, going to be terrible to you anyway, that's not your teacher. I always identify my new students. I try to.
Yeah.
Who's new to my class, right? And if they raise their hands, I do say class is going to be hard, but I give them modifications. I say if you get tired or overwhelmed, do squats, bicep curls, or hold plank. Don't lay down in class, because if you lay down, you're giving up and you're allowing all the people around you to give up too.
Yeah.
So you're going to keep that energy going by like slowing it down, doing something else.
Yeah. Taking a breath.
But you're not going to stop. And then because now I've identified them as new, I keep my eye on them more than I keep my eye on anybody else in the room.
Yeah.
And then I come over, I fix them a lot, I giving them a lot of attention. So I think identifying two teachers who will help you on your journey.
Yeah.
And not just be like, oh, okay, like you're just some random newbie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about for fitness instructors that are just starting out on their teaching journey?
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to get a mentor.
I love that.
Love that.
Don't be afraid to get a mentor. It is hard, right? Like, I've had teachers that want to do that, but then they want to be you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And you're like, you have to
You have to be
your own.
you.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
And the teachers that do that, I also don't like it because I feel like they need some therapy because they don't have a self.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An identity almost.
I think also they don't have their why. Like,
Yeah.
what's your why for wanting to teach? Is it that you think that I'm really cool and you want to be just like me? Like, that's
Yeah.
great. But like, if you literally were like, I show up for my students. No, I show up with my students. Like,
Yeah.
you have a strong purpose for what
Yeah.
you're doing,
Yeah.
And I think people are like, me too.
Yeah.
No, you've
But
got a
they're trying
different
to
reason.
also take your identity, like
Yes.
your music, the way that you teach, like copy you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, you have no sense of self. You only have the mirror effect. You only know how to mirror other people. So to me, that's a sign like you're already not a good instructor.
Yeah.
Because you don't know even why you're doing it. You're only mirroring. And so I think that that's bad. And when I pick up on that,
Yeah.
I become not so nice.
Yeah.
And so then that causes conflict, right? So I think for a new teacher, if you're truly just trying to be authentically you, but learn more about anatomy or how you can build a better sequence, then find a mentor.
Yeah.
Like I've had mentors.
I was going to ask you if you've had a mentor. Yeah.
Yeah, I have. So he's not here anymore. Jay Burkhart was one of my mentors. He since has moved on from Core Power. And he's at 45 now.
Oh, yeah.
And then Elizabeth Staub was one of
I
my
knew her.
mentors.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's living in Kyoto now. And then she's going to be moving to Copenhagen.
Cool.
Her husband's working for
wow.
Noma.
Cool.
Yeah, a girl named Kendra. She was a spitfire. Kendra Cornett. One of my mentors. She was like a dance teacher, but she also taught sculpt. She was crazy amazing.
Yeah.
This guy, Juan Sanchez Cortez, one of our managers long time ago at Core Power, super good. Alicia Messenger taught me to be able to bring some calm even while you're pushing people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've had really amazing mentors. Anthony, you know, how to motivate people to not give up, during the hardest part. Right?
Yeah.
And yeah, so a lot of those people were really pushed into who I am today.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like having like that mentor to help you. I do feel like Core Power does a really good job of like the management team taking classes and then giving feedback of like, hey, like, and it's not just like, hey, you didn't follow our sequence. It's more like you could show your personality a little more. You could do this a little more, like whatever it is. That was one of the things that what I loved when I was at Core Power was that, and I loved that when you were checking people in, you now start to remember people's names.
Yeah.
I said that to someone else. I was like, I think that is just such a good idea because then you're like, Susie's been coming every week. I'm going to remember this chick's name, Susie. And you're like, great, I know you now.
I know you. Like, you good, go in. I know you.
Yeah. And then as the student, you're like, yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
no,
I'm
it's
in.
so true.
I'm
Like,
in.
you're like, they remembered me. Like,
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God.
Yeah, they know who I am.
Which sounds so silly, but it's such a thing. Like, people, like, love for you to recognize
The call out of a name is like,
Well, people want to be seen for the hard work
that they're doing.
Yes.
It's not like some people are like, oh, they come in because they want people to see them, like, you know, like see them in the negative way. Like they just want to show up and be seen. No, people want to be seen and acknowledged for the work that they're doing. And we're actually ingrained with that from childhood. When you get up and you walk and your mom sees you and she's like, good job. You did this hard thing. In school, you get A's, you get awards. You're seen for the hard work that you put in. So as adults, you know, we have now been taught like it's bad to be seen for the hard work you put into something. You've literally been taught that your whole life, and now it's like, well, no, don't be seen.
Yeah.
Don't be seen.
Right.
So true. That's so true. Because I always think about like, okay, who am I talking about?
Yeah. No, exactly.
You literally be seen for the hard work you're putting in.
Yeah.
And I think on a smaller scale, we can do that for each other.
Yes.
Still be seen for the hard work. We're not Olympians, but we're doing hard work still.
No, I also think like sometimes I'll be like, I want to humble brag, and it's like, why am I humbly bragging? Like, let me just tell you what a great job something did, or like, you know, getting to know your students and then having them be like, I did this or this happened.
Yes.
Or whatever it was that happened in their life, career, whatever.
Have everybody clap about it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
like I had students in my class get engaged, students in my class had their weddings, students in my class had their babies, like all of these things that are like, we celebrate that. Or like this woman's kid won their basketball tournament. You know, like you want to celebrate that stuff and get to know their students like that.
Birthday burpees.
Yes.
We love a birthday challenge.
I did that before. I was like, 30, let's go.
30 burpees.
Yes, let's do it.
Yeah, so I've had mentors, and I think everybody should.
Yeah, I think that's great. Yeah. Now, is fitness something that you instill like in your children and your kids? No? Not at all?
I tried. But I didn't get into fitness until I was like 33.
How did you get into fitness?
Depression.
Okay.
Yeah. And actually, I had another mentor. Her name was Sho. And she bothered me. I used to ride this recumbent bike at LA Fitness, right? So I joined it, $20. Okay, I'm going to go work out, but I didn't know what I was doing. And one day she was like, come with me. We're going to come with me to this class. And I died. It was messed up. Like, messed up.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, what the?
Yeah. Like, I'm ready to quit today.
Yeah. Like, not happy.
Yeah.
I went home. I remember I went home that day, because it was during the day, because my son was at school. And I sat on the floor and just ate, like, a big old bowl of, like, I don't even know. Maybe it was Captain Crunch. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, like, I was just, like, stressed out by that. And then I went back, right on that bike. And then who the fuck shows up again?
She's like, let's go.
Yeah.
You're coming with me.
Yeah, that was it. So I went, I died again. And then the next time I was there, I was scared to get on the bike.
Because you thought she'd come and find you?
Yeah.
So I kind of went to the class, but she could see like the terror
Yeah.
in my eyes. And, I did the class again, and she didn't really start bothering me, about how good or bad I was working out for like a month. Mm-hmm. And then she started digging in. And I realized I liked that kind of motivation.
Yeah.
That she wasn't ever going to let me like slack. Like I was on that bike. She was like, no.
Get off the fucking bike.
Get off the fucking bike. Let's go.
Yeah.
So, and then she started doing that in the class too. And I was like, yo, this is hard as hell. Yeah. And then she had a sub, and the girl's name was Galinda. And Galinda usually taught spin. Mm-hmm. And so, but she could also teach HIIT. So she taught that. And then she was like, oh, you should go with me to my spin class. Mm-hmm. And then I went to her spin class, like right after that class, because I got really good at that class, right? Yeah. And then so then I did that, and I was like, bro, like I died.
We're back to
also,
I'm just straight up dying.
Was wet.
Yeah.
The vagina was falling out.
Yeah. Yes. That is so accurate.
I was like, this is... So I didn't like that part. So I was trying to do everything I could. She was like, you'll get used to it. And back then, because I was only like, 33, I was like, okay, now I would be like, get used to that? No. Right? Yeah. Like now I'd be like, absolutely not. That's crazy. Like get used to my hurting, like what? Yeah. But back then I was like, yes, you're like, okay. So great. You're like, right. Like there's something wrong with me that I'm not used to it. Yeah. So I kept doing the double. And by then I realized I like death. I like death workouts.
Yes.
You like suffering.
You want to walk out at the end being like I can't do anything else. Yeah.
So she started working at Core Power.
Okay.
And she was like, you should come with me to this class I teach. Before that, I was doing some Bikram off and on, even before I went to LA Fitness, but it was very like sporadic kind of a thing. So I go with her, and it was Sculpt.
That's the most humbling experience.
Because it's hot.
Yeah.
And I was like, and back then, I used to only use 3s and 5s. Now I use 15s, 20s, 25s in Sculpt. But I used to only use 3s and 5s. And those 3s and 5s felt like the most depth-defying.
Felt like 30 and 50.
Yeah. That heat alone, that heat is so humbling.
There is no other like heated studio like Core Power, truly.
It's more normal to work out if you lived in, all right, so we evolved. All of us evolved coming out of Africa. Mm-hmm. It's hot.
Right. You're working out in the heat.
You're working in the heat. You're farming. Yeah. You're hunting. You're gathering. You're making clothes. There's no air conditioner. There's no, maybe you got a hut or a tent. Yeah. And even before we knew how to build that stuff, you just out. You're just outside. You sleeping outside. It's just hot. It's hot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this idea that like it's not normal to do these things in the heat and humidity is bullshit.
Yeah.
Agree.
1000% bullshit.
Yeah.
Or in the cold. Like I really don't like the cold.
Do you cold plunge?
Don't either.
Okay, yes, but no. Like
I lasted 3 minutes the other week, and I was so proud of myself.
Girl, you should be super proud.
I was so proud.
3 minutes is a long ass time.
A really long time.
The longest I've ever lasted in a cold plunge was in Iceland at Sky Lagoon.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah, I like Sky Lagoon better than Blue Lagoon. Uh-huh. And there was this lady, this Viking lady in there, and she was 78, and she had been sitting in the cold plunge for 43 minutes.
Jesus. What?
Yeah, 43 minutes, and she was talking mad shit to me too. She was like,
"You're like, bitch, I'm about to punch you, but I'm so proud of you."
You got to get out of your mind. It's all here. Like, it's you.
43 minutes is
have
insane.
To get over, like, and I asked her, I said, okay, so why do you do it? She was like, because then if you get out of your body being cold, your mind is connected to the gods.
And you were like, okay, here I go.
I was like, I'm on a Viking episode. Ragnar, where are you, Bjorn? I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I am ready for you. My body is ready. Okay, so the longest I stayed in was like 1 minute. And that was because that lady was like
On your ass.
She was on me, so I kept going back and forth, because that sauna, that Sky Lagoon gets
hot.
I was like, ooh, I'm like about to I'm baking.
Yeah.
This is hot.
Yeah.
So then I was going back and forth. And then finally, one of the sauna times I stayed down long enough where I was like, I want to go in the cold plunge.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but cold plunge is really difficult for me.
Oh, same.
All of my blood goes straight for my extremities.
Yeah.
So for me, that's what makes it the hardest. It's like immediately my blood goes to my other muscles and away from my extremities. So that's really uncomfortable. But Andrew Huberman says you only need to spend 11 minutes in the cold plunge. I'm going to go with that.
Yeah. Isn't it like 11 minutes a week?
I mean, 11 minutes. 11 minutes a week.
Oh, I was like 11 minutes?
No, a week.
A week.
Okay.
A week.
So if you break it up.
And he said
1, 2.
Yeah.
Maximum, but he said you can only do like 10 to 15 seconds is enough to get the dopamine, and to get the serotonin and all of that stuff. So 15 seconds.
Great.
Max. You don't have to do
that.
more than that. Yeah. So don't compound them to do 11 minutes in one day.
Yeah, no.
11 minutes seems like a long time.
Yeah, in
No.
a day. Yeah.
A long time to be frigid.
Yeah.
But he's saying like 11 minutes maximum. You don't even need to do that.
Yeah.
You can do 1 minute per week, doing 10 seconds a day.
Yeah. Just the exposure in and of itself. Yeah.
Maybe he didn't even say 11 minutes a week. He might have said 11 seconds a day. I think that's what it was.
He gave him minutes, but it was like across the span of a week, whatever it was that he said. So, but
That's weird, ignoring. My phone's ringing.
Well, what do you got coming up?
Also, I did want to note.
Yeah,
please.
Note.
We love a note.
I would date Andrew Huberman.
I think he's single.
I know.
Okay, well, let's put this out into the universe.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's like super smart.
He is.
He is.
He's
Handsome.
He's very handsome. He's like my type.
Okay.
Handsome. He's huge.
Andrew, we know you listen to Girl Everything's Fine.
Yeah. Sure, you gotta add him.
We will. We'll tag him. We'll snip it.
He's super fit. He has tattoos. Like he's all about.
Did you go to his show when he was in Chicago?
No. I didn't even go to David Goggins' show because, the David Goggins show, they were like, we can't tell you what time the speakers are going on. And I'm like, real savages got stuff to do. I got 12 hours to spend in some Schaumburg Convention Center. Like I'm in some like fucking cold.
Just like waiting.
Like I'm in a cold.
Yeah.
I didn't care because I got a 50% off code. I love you, David Goggins. I love you so fucking much. But that was some bullshit stuff.
Whack. Shit.
That was whack. And I got 50% off, so my ticket was $25, and I was like, keep it.
Yeah.
But I really do love him. He's like he's my top, like, motivator. He doesn't know it, but like.
No, he knows it.
He's the top.
Yeah.
Like the very top.
Yeah.
But I'm feeling whack. I just go to one of his things, listen to it. Sometimes he says stuff that make me laugh.
Yeah.
But like he's top dog.
Yeah.
And then for sciencey, how to keep your body like going with like vitamins up, sciencey stuff, it'd be like Huberman is my next stop.
Yeah.
And then like it used to be Jay Shetty, but there's like these controversies.
Yeah. He talk about getting canceled, that guy.
Yeah.
But he got canceled
I'm
for a hot second, and then everybody's like, I forgot about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that he didn't live like a monk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't
That's
know.
a tough one.
How
That
I
one kind of like hit
feel.
me hard.
Me too.
Because I was like, I actually was like, I'd screenshot everything that he
Yeah.
had.
Yeah, I
and, like,
did really like
put
a lot
it
of
in
his
my
stuff,
like
too.
saved
like
whatever.
how, healing,
Yes.
healing.
And you're like, this guy knows what he's talking about
Yeah.
because
Because
he
he's
lived
done
it.
it. Yeah.
And then you're like,
Yeah.
he's a
Yeah,
fraud.
so yeah, but Ari Shin on Instagram.
Yes.
Yeah, so now I read those daily when I feel like remind yourself like that, the healing process is a process and that you're worthy, like things like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I do those are my like top, people. But I just want to put that out there about who
let's send it
David
into the
Adams is
universe.
married. So
Yeah.
I used to be like I would marry him, but like now he's married. So
No, Andrew,
Huberman
he's
it is.
like, Andrew has us saved every time, every week.
yeah,
He's
but
like-
everybody wants to be his girlfriend. So
Yeah, but you're Carmilla.
yeah, I was just going to say, like,
I mean,
fuck everybody else.
Who else can compete with that?
okay, I like that. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
But I would also date like the people from Vikings, even though they don't really live that life. But like I could date
If they were
Ragnar
open to-
or Bjorn.
Great.
Yeah, Bjorn over Ragnar. I used to love Ragnar.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, Bjorn, yes, I could.
More your
interview
speed.
with you.
All right. Well, we're putting all of this out in the universe, and I think that's one of these has got to stick.
Something's going to stick here.
And ethnically, guys, you just be like that, but ethnically, you can be like any. Yeah, don't be like she just wants like a Norwegian Viking.
She's only looking for a Norwegian.
Yeah, you could be a black Viking,
Yeah.
Mexican.
It just has to give Viking energy.
Yeah, Korean Viking, Japanese
Yes.
Viking,
Yes.
Indian Viking. Like, let's fucking go.
Yeah. Start lining up.
Yeah.
Send the inquiries
Vikings
to our
don't
Don't send me
inbox.
queries. I don't want to date anybody.
No, not there.
No.
To confirm everything's fine, we'll
weed
vet
through.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Weed
for
through.
me, thank
Yes.
you. That's what I need.
I got you.
Also, wait, I have one more request.
Yes.
They can't live in Chicago.
Oh, are we looking to move?
No, I don't want people coming into my house and like just showing up and every day I gotta like, I worry about my students every day.
Yeah.
So an everyday
So,
boyfriend
like,
that doesn't work.
Like a
Okay.
Norwegian boyfriend would work.
Far
Not
away.
an everyday boyfriend.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
this.
Korea,
concept.
Far away.
Japan. I could come visit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a good destination.
It'll be like a good honeymoon every time we meet up.
I love that.
yeah. That's
Love
the way
that.
to fucking do it.
Truly.
So when people are always like, why are you dating? Like, it's not because I'm like, I was super broken and I won't lie about that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm never going to do this again. And now I'm like more open to it, but I'm like, but now I have parameters.
Yeah.
Yes. Hell
And
yeah.
good ass parameters right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
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 I'm liking this.
Me too. The whole thing.
Yeah. All right. So what do we have coming up in the next few months?
A lot of stuff. So on the 21st,
Yeah.
we have the holiday party.
So
You're
fun.
all invited, all of you. It's at
She throws an
Everything
iconic
Bar.
holiday party. I was there last year.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm coming this year. We have to go.
Yeah, we'll go. I'm in.
It's at Everything Bar. It's going to be karaoke, DJ, and we do have a surprise gift for everyone.
Love a gift.
Don't give it away.
I can say what it is. It's a little battery tea light.
So cute.
And a paper lantern. You write your New Year's wish on the paper lantern.
I love
Put your tea
this.
light in it, and you put your name. And if somebody doesn't know who you are and they read it, they have to find you.
I love
They gotta
this.
find you and discuss your wish with each other.
Very
Gosh, I
fun.
love this.
Yeah. So, and then Ina is doing a giveaway.
Fun.
And I give away some classes, some sauna, some red light therapy. So I'm going to post all about it. So that's on the 21st. Then on January 5th at the Roby,
Love the
I
Roby.
have a wellness series every Sunday at 11:30.
Okay.
Awesome.
And the first one is powered by Lululemon
Fun.
Yeah, very fun.
because I'm a Lululemon ambassador.
I was just going to say you're an ambassador, aren't you? Yes. Yes.
So then gonna power with mats, blocks for you to use to support your practice. Then after that, core power will be powering the workout as well.
Awesome.
With mats, blocks, straps, just so
cool.
you don't have to be hauling that
Love
stuff
this.
around.
Back and forth, yeah.
And then a few Sundays, Body High will be powering it.
That's amazing.
I have DJs, Chip. She teaches at Bucktown Core Power.
Okay.
Jessica. She'll be DJing.
So
And
fun.
I love a live DJ event.
Yes. And then Eric Cervantes.
Yes.
I love him.
He will
Love
also
him.
be DJing. So that's going on. Also, I'll be competing at High Rocks Miami.
Is this this
Amazing.
isn't your first High Rocks, correct?
No.
You've done many?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this time, I'm a little nervous.
Are you solo or double?
I'm doubles.
Okay.
My partner, her name is Katrina.
Uh-huh.
Her daughter works at Barry's. Mara Wright.
Okay.
Barry's Boot Camp.
Yeah.
Her mom will do it with me. She's 57. She has Ironmans under her belt.
Shit.
She has triathlons under her belt. She has marathons under her belt.
You got this.
Spartans.
You got it.
You got this.
And I'm like, this lady is a machine. Like, she did an Ironman, and then she came to my class the next morning and did the whole workout.
what?
Go the fuck home. Have a seat.
Have some water. Have some rest. Do not come to my class.
She's a fucking savage.
She's a beast.
That's insane.
So for that month, me and one of my clients, every time we were like tired or doing something, we would say, "What would Katrina do?"
Yeah, right. No, 100%.
I
That'll
love
get some
that.
pep in your
Yeah.
step.
I love that.
Yeah. So
WWKD.
what would Katrina do? Yes, 100%. So I have that going on. Some other Lululemon events will be happening. So I kind of announce them as they come.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So yeah.
If someone was looking to get in touch with you, how would they do so?
Instagram
What's your
is
Instagram handle?
Really great. At Carmilla, CARMILLA _K.
Okay.
That's the best way.
Okay.
Love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, I'm teaching.
Yeah, what's your schedule? Or you're just all over the fucking place, aren't you?
No, I like consistency.
Okay.
Yes. We
Great.
talked about that.
So where are you at
Yeah.
and when? Give us the breakdown.
The whole breakdown.
Yeah.
Okay, so Monday, I'm at Core Power, West Loop, 6, 7 a.m., 12:30. And I do have clients in between that, or at night. Tuesday, I'm at Core Power, 6 a.m., 7:15, 8:30, 10 a.m., 11:30.
Oof.
Yeah, and then I have clients later. And then on Wednesday, I'm at Body High and at Midtown.
Okay.
Body High, 6 a.m., 7 a.m., Midtown, 9 and 9:30.
Which body high?
The Wicker Park location, very good question.
Yeah.
Thursday, I'm at Core Power in Midtown, 6 a.m., 7:15, 8:30, 10 a.m., then I rush over to Midtown and I start teaching there at 12. And then I have clients later. And then on Friday, I've changed out my schedule. I used to be at Midtown at noon. So now I'm at Ina at 7 a.m. and 8. And then I'm at Core Power. Then I have clients. And then I'm at Core Power 3:30 and 4:45.
Nice.
And then I'm on Sundays at Midtown at 9:30.
And soon to be the Roby.
And the Roby soon. Thank you for that. At 11:30 on Sundays. So yeah.
Lots of
Busy
opportunities.
bee, but lots
to get
of
into.
opportunities.
So
to
if
see
people
you.
are always like, why don't you teach more? And I'm like, okay, I have to do my own workout. I gotta
Yeah.
go feed my cat.
I gotta take care
I
of
gotta clean my
myself.
house.
Quite
I
a
gotta
bit.
shower. I gotta
But
eat
everybody's
food.
like, but I want you to
and I
teach
have
the one
clients
class that I want you to teach.
want. Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, I have to shower, clean, cook, because I don't like to eat out. A lot of you might just eat out all the time. I have maids. I do not.
We're poor.
We're poor.
We have to
But
make
aside
our own
from being
dinner.
poor, even if I had the money to do that,
I know, yeah.
I like doing for myself.
Yeah.
There is something really nice about cooking and eating your own food. I'm not a good
Yes.
chef, so I'm not making like really crazy stuff, but like you just feel really good.
You feel good. And also, like, if
and it's gonna power you through your workouts.
power you through it.
Yeah.
And I do shoot bows. When I was in Japan, I did Kyudo archery.
She does it all. No, she literally
Yeah,
does.
I did Kyudo. It was actually really hard. The bows are like 6'3".
Wow.
And you pull the bamboo part first before you pull the, the string.
So string,
before you pull.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I was like, oh my God. And the sensei is like 80 years old. And he's like a 6th-level Dan, which is the top level of Kyudo. He's like one of like the second or top in the entire country.
Holy cow.
He grabbed my arm and he was like, you have a lot of muscle. Why can't you pull this thing? And I'm like,
You're like, sir.
You're like, wow, you just called me out for.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah.
guy.
Oh,
Thanks.
dang.
So I would even hunt for my own food because we're very disconnected. So if you like eat chicken, you eat beef. Do you know what you're eating?
Yeah.
Do you know what you're killing? Do you
Yeah,
know what's
super
going
important.
on? And can you be committed to eating that, right? That food if you actually had to like take that life.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's very also important to recognize that the food you're eating had a life. And if you were out hunting with a bow to feed yourself, would you be able to do it? Right.
True.
And then that actually feeds into philosophy of life. Like, what does caring for yourself look like?
Yeah.
And what does caring for someone else look like? And when things comes down to like struggle
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so true.
and you getting that thing versus that other, like, how do you learn how to share?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? That's where the sharing mindset comes in. It's not me versus you. It's us figuring out as a community, how do we get that cow, but it's just not mine, even though I have the skill set to do it.
To do so, yeah.
How do we share?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, I would hunt for my own food and grow my own stuff if I had to.
Nice.
Which is saying a lot more than surely me.
And me.
Yeah.
But I'd like to think I could, but probably not.
You could grow your own food.
I could grow
You
my own
could,
food.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you could kill something
Well, I
else.
will say my aunt and uncle, they hunt like during hunting season, and they live in the Upper Peninsula, Michigan. And after that, I'm like, I don't think I can do this. I can't eat it. Like, I just saw it.
You saw
I can't eat it.
It was looking at you.
But then they'll trick me into it.
It was blinking.
Yeah. Like, it was like, hey you. Yeah.
I did think that when I went to the deer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nara, I don't eat deer anyway.
Deer's it's a gamey taste. I
Well,
think.
they look gamey.
Yeah.
Like up close.
Yeah.
Now that I was up close to them and touching them and they were all in my pockets, like they lived in Chicago.
Yeah. yeah.
They were like, and I was like, bros, y'all Chicago deer.
Yep. Yep.
Y'all acting like a Chicago deer.
Yup, you in my pockets and you being threatening because I don't got no food for you. Where's it at? Yeah. Okay, that was a bad joke, but yeah. So that was like, they look gamey. Like they're not that cute. Like they are, but they're not.
But
yeah.
they're not, yeah.
No, yeah. They're not.
Like I was rubbing them, but I was like, am I gonna get?
Attacked.
the baby ones are
Or am
cute.
I gonna get fleas? Or
Like
Or,
Bambi.
yeah.
the baby ones are cute, and the female ones
Yeah.
are cute.
Cute.
But the ones you want to eat are the big ones with the
And
Yeah.
there's like,
Mm-mm.
they look, they might beat you up.
Oh, they'll come kick my ass for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, you have been
A joy.
an inspirational,
Truly.
kick-ass woman.
A sap like
Any
you.
other questions that I missed? That like I rambled and like moved on.
No, we love ramble. That's
No,
the whole,
that's the best part of a
point.
podcast
We love
is
a ramble.
a ramble.
I think we didn't ramble about anime though.
No, okay, how did you get into anime? That is the most random thing. And then I was like, I literally copy pasted your entire bio. And I was like, we have to ask her about
About
this
anime.
anime.
So, back in the day, we didn't have computers.
Yeah.
Because I'm 49, I'll be 50. I've been saying
Which
I'm
is
50.
literally fucking insane.
Right, but I've been
Insane.
saying I'm 50 for 2 years, right? Just get used to it. Right? But I will actually be 50 in March. And so, yeah, somebody actually said to me, they were like, bro, you've been 50 for 2 years.
You're like, yeah,
And
I
I
just
was
been
like-
prepping myself.
I've been 28 for 6 years. So
They were like, either you're 51 or you're like
Lying.
not 50. Yeah, and I was like, okay, no, I'll be 50 in March, actually. So, but back in the day, we didn't even have a computer. Like, that wasn't like in existence. And cell phones weren't either, by the way.
Times were tough.
kids, did you hear that?
I
Yeah, I
lived
know.
when we didn't have remotes for the TV. Like, you had to get up and like
And
turn
push
them.
the-
Yeah.
I had one of those in my house, but
Yeah.
I also had the other ones.
Yeah.
Growing up.
no. Like before VCRs, if y'all even know what a VCR is.
I'm the
or
VCR era.
DVD,
I'm in the
like, you
VCR
know what
era.
it is. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
No, we would go jogging with big CD play. First, big cassette players.
I had a CD player.
I did. That was how I flirted with
yeah.
guys.
We had
Was I made them
cassettes. We had
mixtapes.
cassettes.
Yeah.
cassettes was a little.
DVDs didn't exist.
Yeah.
And then DVDs came. I mean, CDs.
Yeah.
And you'd be jogging with this big thing. Like, All right. So when I was younger, you were a key kid back then. Maybe there was less crazy people. I don't know. But you could walk home and you go in the house.
Yes.
And Thundercats and He-Man used to come on, and Transformers.
Oh, I knew Thundercats.
Yeah. And they were actually part Studio Genion, I think was, I have to look it up. I can't remember which studio, but one of the Japanese animation studios were actually the animators. And help animate it. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I used to watch something called Robotech.
Yes, I remember this as well.
Yeah, and Transformers Z. So I used to watch
I
those things.
loved a cartoon.
I did too. So those were
I fucking
Japanese.
loved a cartoon.
And then as I, grew up, like
Yeah.
I still
Loved a cartoon.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like that style.
Yeah.
And then once I found out what style it was, then, Fist of the North Star, Crying Freeman, but they were all bootleg on videotapes. And I used to love kung fu movies. Like
What's
with
your
Jackie
favorite?
Chan.
But I only.
geez.
What's his Rush Hour?
Oh my God, that was so...
I used to
loved
love
it.
that movie.
No, it was hilarious.
Yes, I would be
Chris
cracking
Rock
up.
is so... Do you
Yeah.
know Fifth Element?
No.
You have to watch it. It's with Bruce Willis.
I love Bruce Willis as well.
Okay, so watch
I'm gonna have Fifth Element? Okay, I'm gonna add it.
He is absolutely ridiculous
Yeah.
in this movie. So funny.
Yeah.
So I was always watching Jackie Chan and, bootleg anime.
Yeah.
And I've always have watched it,
I love it. I love that. That's something
Where do you watch
wouldn't
it now,
think.
though?
Crunchyroll now, like it's popular.
It's
You can watch it
everywhere?
on Netflix.
Okay.
You can watch it on Crunchyroll. So currently I'm watching this one called Dan to Dan. It's absolutely ridiculous and hilarious.
I love
Is this
it.
like your guilty pleasure thing?
I'm not secretive about it. I'd be like, I watch anime.
Right. No,
Like,
no, but
this
I
is
mean, like,
me.
you're-
It's a guilty pleasure. I feel like it's like just straight up pleasure.
Just pleasure. It
Yeah.
just happens
It's just
for you.
straight
Yeah.
up pleasure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love it.
My guilty pleasure
Yeah.
is K-dramas. Like, I'm not readily, now I just put it out into the world. But I don't
She's like, I'm not ready to tell people about
I don't
this, but here it
readily
goes.
admit that
Yeah.
I watch K-dramas. I don't
Where do you watch those?
don't love K-pop. I like Korean trap music.
Yeah.
Wow. Because I
I
feel
don't
like Korean
love
pop has gotten
Korean-
really big here.
Yeah, I don't love Korean hip hop because it sounds like R&B.
Okay.
But Korean trap music is like they trap
the
that. They're going in on it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like K-dramas and like
Okay.
some rom-com.
I love
stuff.
this.
Yeah,
I
so
love
that's my
this.
secret guilty pleasure. Like that I'm laughing and being like, "Oh, that's so cute." Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Amazing. Wow.
So that's my softer side. I'd be my softer side.
Yeah, we all have
The
one. but you
K-drama
can't-
just brings out
can't
the
let
soft
everybody
side.
see it all the time.
It does. I'd be like, "Oh, that's cute," and "Oh my God, why aren't they communicating? He should know she likes him."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
Behind closed doors.
Yeah. Only on TV. I don't want that in real life.
Yeah. We've expressed what we want in real life.
Good. I went biking. We're shooting pose.
No,
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to vet
We
for you.
know.
Don't you worry. I'm
Yeah.
taking applications.
We got this.
Yeah.
We'll do this as our homework.
Internationals only.
Okay, yeah, you can't be in Chicago. If you
Sorry.
do live in Chicago, just control
The need to see her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
be
be
groupie.
coming to my class and like
Yeah, don't be
trying to like, be like, this my lady and like, don't be insecure. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Don't be insecure.
Like a secure, someone who's really
Viking man.
secure.
And now I feel insecure.
There's
that
like a
I'm-
strength to that.
Yeah, that I'm doing my own thing, that I have my own goals that are not part of you. Because
Yeah.
you have your own goals. Do your thing.
Independence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we can do things together, but my life doesn't have to be all
about
yours and yours doesn't
We don't have to be fully
all-
intertwined.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Love it.
Okay. That was it. I'm the last announcement. That was it.
Well, this is awesome. Thank you
this has
so
been
much
fun.
for coming
you have
on.
exceeded my expectations.
Truly.
Okay, so wait, you're engaged.
I am engaged.
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
How did he propose?
He so on Monday we got home and he was like, we like need a date night. Like, does Wednesday work? And I was like, well, I'm like going out with my friend. He was like, can you cancel it? Like, we really need to go on a date. And I was like, you know what? You're right. We do need a date night. So I had personal training from 4 to 5 and at 5, and I take an hour out of my day for me to train with someone else. Like I get trained by someone else because I just want an hour for someone to kick my ass.
Teachers need teachers.
Where it's not like my own, it's not me working out on my own. It's someone literally just like focused on me. I don't have to think about what I'm working out. I can she can be my therapist for a little bit and like we could just chat and I love it. So 5 o'clock I get home and I'm like, shit, I gotta get ready. Dinner's at 5:45. I live in Gold Coast. We're going to Logan. I got 10 minutes to get ready. So I'm sweaty. I quickly just straighten the front of my hair. I throw on an outfit. I'm like, okay, ready, let's go. And so we get to Daisy's in Logan, which is so cute, so big. I'm filming everything. So I was like, oh, this will make a good TikTok. Okay. So I'm filming everything. We get to dinner. And at dinner, I knew he was proposing soon. But at dinner, I'm like, when are you even going to propose? We are so busy. We are so busy. Holiday time is busy, whatever. He's like, just trust me. And I was like, ugh. I can't.
Oh my God.
And so then we leave and I'm playing Wordle and Quirtle and all my New York Times games because I'm that cool.
Okay, so that's your pleasure.
That's
hers.
100%.
Yeah.
I play it every day. I play all the games from crossword to strands to tiles. I play them all. I'm very cool.
Sudoku.
I
love a Sudoku.
My fastest Sudoku is a minute 30.
Oh my God.
I'm also very good at that. And so then I'm I look up and I'm oh, it's so weird. They're telling you to take Dearborn home. And then I look at where he put the destination to and my heart, my stomach dropped, everything just I got red. I was oh my God, it's happening. Because basically when we were first dating, we were walking through Lincoln Park and we took a seat on a bench and he said, I love you. And we call it our I love you bench. And we were there. Okay. And so I was it's happening. I don't remember anything else that happened.
You blacked out?
Blacked out.
Okay.
All I remember is being who's this bitch? And it was the photographer he hired to take some pictures of us. And he was he's that's Gretchen. I have hired her. And I was shit. I was hey, Gretchen.
So blacked out, came alive just to say who's that bitch.
Yeah.
Blacked out again.
Took some photos and then he's we went in the car and I was I have to FaceTime my mom. And he's let's just focus on us for a little. And I'm okay, whatever. And he's let's go get a drink at Clark Street. Clark Street Ale House is our home away from home. And I was I FaceTime my mom. She didn't answer. And I was she's got to be at Clark Street. So we go to Clark Street and he has my mom, my sisters, my brother-in-laws, my aunts. My aunt came in from Michigan. His whole family's there. And we just kind of came together, celebrate. So prior to being on camera, I was singing I Want to Dance with Somebody because that's my song. And I always karaoke it. I just love the song. I love Whitney. That was playing. He coordinated with the bar to play while I was coming, while we were coming in. It was just such a special moment. I was in complete shock. Like I was like literally like I asked him that day when he was going to propose, like an hour before he did. I didn't wash my hair. Like had I thought I was being proposed, I probably would have worn like a white tee or like something white. Like looked a little like people were like, "You look so pretty." I was like, I literally like threw shit together.
Yeah.
Like just
and
like
blacked out.
yeah. And that's
The whole
it.
time.
And now we're engaged.
Oh my God. Let me see.
So special.
Yeah, he did good. This is like
did
exactly what I
good.
wanted. So it's
All right, so you're what's
she's dating a very nice man.
You know
Okay.
my man.
Thomas.
okay? So you're dating a really good guy.
Yeah, great
and
guy.
he's super strong because yeah,
He's lovely. Yeah.
And Thomas is the best. Like I literally say that like we met and we went out. Like obviously I've met him, but like we went out for the first time. The guy texted me after and was like, "That was like thank you so much. Like that was a really great time." And I was like,
He's a very
"Did
good
we just
guy.
go on a date? Like you're so sweet that you just thanked me."
He's a very
for
good
going
guy.
out."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he so yeah, from base camp.
Yes.
And so I tried to break him during workout, you know. Some people say I'm a bully. I'm not. I just want you to do
Show up and be
yeah.
potential. Yeah.
And he would lock in.
And be like, I'm
You're like,
ignorant.
"Dude, let's go."
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, so that I couldn't break him, he'd be doing the heavy weight I gave him. And I would switch out his weight and be like, "You need to do heavy." But while I'm standing there staring at him, he would literally just look straight.
Straight through you. Yeah.
Right, he would just look straight. No, I would be on the side, and he
Yeah.
would just look straight. So that way, like, I couldn't break his like.
He's like, "Get
His,
away."
like, yeah.
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 The next time, Thomas, I'm gonna go in front of you.
You're just gonna be
And then-
right there, right in your
yeah,
face, right
yeah.
there.
And then that way, when you're staring, like, I'm gonna make faces, and you're gonna fail.
You're going to have to. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Challenge accepted.
Yes.
Well, don't forget Carmilla_K
Yeah.
on Instagram. We are The Girls Are Fine on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube as well. And just remember,
Everything's fine.
Are you fine though?
That's the point. She got it. She got it. That's the point.